today on Divorce Court.
I am here on Divorce Court today hoping to find some understanding between my fiance and I. Ramalle misled me in the past because I thought that I was the only one that he was pursuing, and I wasn't.
The issue between me and Renita is she is controlling and she thinks that it's her way or the highway.
I want Judge Lynn to address in the courtroom with us today on how to communicate better and what expectations of a husband should be.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Renita Mitchell and Ramalle Meadows. Ms. Mitchell and Mr. Meadows, you two have been together for 6 years. You have 2 children together, and you're here on a Before the Vows. You want to know whether or not you should marry. You love each other, but there are issues, and we're going to talk about that. You've given me your marriage certificate with permission to tear it up should I believe this union is ill-advised. So, Ms. Mitchell, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the history of your relationship, how you got together, what attracted you to one another, and we'll go from there.
Okay. First of all, yes, we met 6 years ago. I was referred to him from a mutual friend.
You were referred?
Yes.
Sounds like a temporary employment agency.
Well, I needed my son's haircut, and he was a barber.
Okay.
And so
I thought she was referred romantically.
No.
Go ahead.
He was a barber, and so it took me a while to call him, but when I did call him, he was, I'll come after hours if I have to because I worked really late and everything. And so when I saw him checking me out, I started checking him out, and I thought he was an amazing looking man.
Mr. Meadows, what was your initial impression of Ms. Mitchell?
Like she said, I was checking her out when she first came into the barbershop. I admired her beauty, and once I got to cutting her son's hair, I had a few difficulties with him, and then interacting with her and learning her personality, I thought maybe I should try to pursue her.
Pursue her, right. Now, you say in your papers specifically that he had swagger, and you instantly liked his hands.
Yes.
And
something I'd never paid attention to before with any other man.
Does he still have swagger?
I think he always will, but he has a different occupation now, and so he cuts yards now. So that's kind of out the window.
Okay. The swagger is out the window. What changed? How did he lose his swagger in your eyes?
Well, he had to take on another job. I did not approve of him cutting hair anymore because I wasn't the only woman he was pursuing at that time. They would bring their sons in for haircuts, and he liked some of them too. Yeah. So I did not, once we started to move forward in the relationship and some of the women tried to take ownership of him, I was like, if you're gonna be with me, I'm not comfortable with you doing this job. So now he cuts yards. So he's covered in grass and dirt.
That's pretty deep. I'm gonna talk to you about that in a minute. But you say you felt misled by him.
Yes, I did.
Why did you feel misled?
I felt misled because when I first met him, I just was completely transparent. I told him, I'm broken right now. I am in a marriage, but I'm separated from my husband, and I have trust issues. He made me believe that I could trust him. And so learning later on that there were other women that just kind of.
Mr. Meadows, were you clear in the beginning that you were seeing a number of women when you started seeing her? Or did she just assume that?
No, I wasn't. You
weren't what?
I wasn't clear to her that I was through seeing other women. We hadn't got that far, but once I got to know her and, like I said, got to interacting with her, I kind of took it from 5th gear to 2nd gear and gradually slowed down.
Cut that out.
Yeah, the transformation was slow, but.
Yeah. You say that he misled you. And that may or may not be the case, but sometimes what women do is, like if I've dated you 5 times, my son said this to me once. He said, every time I look up, I'm in a relationship, and I don't know how it happens. Because you go out with a woman a certain number of times, and they start making assumptions. Did you make assumptions about exclusivity that he didn't sign off on?
I don't believe that I did. Because I saw him every day. And it's not because I came to see him. He let it be known that he was very into me. And so then, because I feel like I don't date without purpose. I was just very transparent with him, like, hey, you know.
But did he say the words, "It's just you and me"?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Did you say the words, "It's just you and me"?
Yes, I did.
And you didn't mean them? Not in the beginning.
Not in the beginning, no.
Not in the beginning,
Yeah.
I got you. She said something interesting to me in the beginning, which I would thought was trippy. Some chick you're dating tells you to change jobs. Why would you?
Well, because I did like her and I wanted to pursue a relationship with her, and I felt like that maybe me working at the barbershop with all the influences that I have at the barbershop, that it might be a good thing for me to do that. So,
It didn't scare you at all? You didn't think that was presumptuous, that she would walk into your life? You're not married, none of that, and just tell you, I don't want you doing this job anymore because you come into contact with too many women.
yeah, it did. It scared me. I mean, but that was a sacrifice that I had to make to prove to her that I wanted to be with her.
Didn't you think that was a little presumptuous?
No. No. I would have only thought that if I didn't see the things I saw. I mean, I would get looks from women, because we used to go to the club all the time, okay? I would get looks from women like they owned him. And I'm like, what's going on? Oh, she's nobody. I just cut her son's hair. And I'm like, okay,
Well, you know, anywhere he goes, he's going to run into some women.
Right.
He's going to mow the lawn,
I
and
get
I'm going
that.
to open the door and write him a check. You know,
I get that, but it wasn't like that. I've seen some women that, hey, bro, yeah, he cuts my son's hair. Hi, I'm so and so. That I understand, but it wasn't always like that. Like, I mean, I thought I was gonna have to fight.
But we do
you're
stay.
scaring me.
We do stay in Oklahoma City. Yeah, we stay in Oklahoma City. It's not very big. I mean, you can circle the whole metro area in 45 minutes. So, I mean.
Well, not only has she asked you to change, you also need her to change. So now I want to talk about the kind of changes you need to see. He used to be a dapper don, good looking, well groomed, and now his game is falling off. Is that truly a concern of yours?
Well, with his appearance, he's not an ugly guy. I think he's gonna look good in whatever. He just doesn't.
You're reading light to me over there, Ms. Mitchell. You really are. So, Mr. Meadows, you say now that you've changed jobs for her, she needs to make some changes. What are they?
Well, I just feel like, you know, I made I call them sacrifice. I guess they weren't really sacrifices.
Yes, they were.
Well, I'm an adult now, so a lot of stuff I was doing, I'm 37 years old, I shouldn't have been doing anyway, so I don't mind making those changes. But I just feel like, as far as around the house, there's things that she could be doing, you know, like cleaning more and tidying up the house a little more. You know, I come home from cutting 10, 15 yards a day. I'm sweaty, hot. I come home and she's in the bed eating caramel popcorn, watching Netflix. I mean,
Ms. Mitchell, your response to that?
Only when I was watching a show, but that show's over. I was doing the things that he said. I was getting off work at 3 o'clock, jumping home and getting everything taken care of, whatever needed to be washed as far as laundry, whatever needed to be cooked was on, because I had to get the children, my 2 little ones, from daycare by 5:30. So he was used to me just being on it, you know.
Right.
But now since school's out, I get off work at 5.
Right.
And so I'm not able to do as much. Now he's watching a TV show and he's in the
I got you. I got you. And that's difficult if you're working and doing that.
Yes.
Here's the question that I have for you. You seem to be concerned, or at least you indicated that you were concerned. He used to be a dapper don, good looking, well groomed, and now his game is falling off. Is that truly a concern of yours?
Well, with his appearance, he's not an ugly guy. I think he's gonna look good in whatever. He looks good to me. He just doesn't. Oh, okay, for instance, on date night, I make date nights for us.
Right.
Because I want to see him the way that I saw him. And, that give us both a good, time to clean up. And, I won't look so stressed from the children. And, he won't look so stressed from his job. And, but he's not into date night, really. I mean, he'll do it, but it's like, well, whatever you decide for us to do. And I'm like, can you just romance me a little bit? Can you do it? Can I see that guy that used to take me out all the time? And, because he would come to my job for lunch looking great. I mean, the employees were like, oh my gosh, like who is, and I'm like,
that's because he was leaving the barber shop where he's inside with the air conditioning and he dresses nicely, and so he's able to do that. Now he's out in the backyard, sweating, pushing something like a beast.
Which I totally respect.
And I still come to your job dirty, sweaty, and bring you lunch. My appearance just ain't the same because I have a whole different occupation now.
You're reading light to me over there, Ms. Mitchell. You really are needy and wanty, but not too. Do you feel a little of what I'm feeling here? You look like superficial. You told him he had to change his job, but you liked it, and then he changed his job, but you liked the way he looked on his first job. You know what I mean?
No, I respect his new hustle. I respect what he's doing. I'm cool with that. Just every blue moon, I want a date night. I mean, and so a date night so I can see him looking as good as he's looking right now. I don't need it all the time.
I understand you still have trust issues. So I want to take a moment, talk about what's really going on. Do you think he's cheating on you, and how it is you keep track of him? Do you think he's faithful to you, or do you have concerns in that area?
His phone was on the counter by me, and I saw a text message come through from a lady. When I saw that it was from her, I did look at it, and I questioned him like, okay, you used to talk to her, y'all used to be intimate together.
Right.
Why is she texting you now after all this time?
Would you change careers to make your partner happy? Tell us what you think at facebook.com/Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Divorce Court. Do you think he's faithful to you, or do you have concerns in that area?
I do believe that he is faithful to me. I trust him. I just have trust with other people that may be around him.
You don't trust the environment he's in?
Sometimes. Yeah.
What have you seen that has caused you concern?
Well, this is a lot of stuff that we're talking about right now is not an issue at the very, very present moment. But one time, he was getting ready for work, and so was I, and his phone was on the counter by me. And I saw a text message come through from a lady that, when I saw that it was from her, I did look at it, and I questioned him like, okay, you used to talk to her, y'all used to be intimate together.
Right.
Why is she texting you now after all this time? He's like, I don't know. She was calling me all these names in the text message, not expecting me to see it. So I responded to her, and then he called her. And I asked him, so there was a whole big thing from that. And so I asked him, I said, would you have even told me? Or would you have kept that to yourself? He's like, I probably wouldn't have told you. And I guess it's because he wouldn't have wanted to explain.
Start no stuff.
Yeah.
And
so
I wouldn't have told you either.
Yeah.
But you have children together. Are you cool on the parenting issues?
I am. She thinks that I am more strict on her oldest son than I am on the rest of the children, which I'm not.
Ms. Mitchell, what is your thoughts on that?
He is his dad now, but it's like he's just not really. He'll cater more to the babies than my 6-year-old.
What are the kind of things that you would like him to do that he's not doing?
I would like for him to embrace my son more, and to, for every time he's doing something with the 2 younger ones, that my son don't have to stand off and watch, in the background.
Bring him into the crowd. Bring him into. You're bringing him into the group.
Yeah.
I do. Yes, I do. I don't spank him. I don't do nothing to him. I just, with her feeling the way she feels, it's kind of hard for me to interact with him because she's so judgmental about the way that I am with him. So I just kind of.
How are you with him?
I mean, verbally, I
are
can
you
be
tough on him?
Yeah, verbally. I don't whoop any of the
He's
kids.
6.
I agree with her about the son. It is difficult to be a step parent and come in and do that well and meaningfully. And you're not gonna be as attached to them as you are your own children. So you have to actively engage in the process of learning to love them in that sincere, dear way that you automatically love your own children. That's a job. And it doesn't include yelling, because to him, you're just a dude off the street. That's what that is. Now I wanna turn to the compatibility test and show you what I saw there.
Oh.
How do you determine if someone is marriage material? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. The most interesting thing I saw in the compatibility test were your answers to what you wanted from a spouse and what you would give a spouse. Because I've never heard a woman say it quite like this before. You said, I want my spouse to be the leader of our family, a good one, and in return, I will give him submission. Now, which, if that's the way you want to roll, that's cool. But right here, I'm not seeing any of that. It seems that you're awfully in charge and dictatorial about what goes on in the home. And my question to you is, if you're looking for leadership, don't you have to back off the demands a bit?
Yeah, you do.
Yet you see no inconsistency between your behavior and what you desire.
Because I would really like to be able to put down the leadership thing and really let him pick it up. But that's why we're here, because I want to understand him. But I also want him to understand too that, I would like to take care of business side first and then, romance each other and, do things like that. But I feel like I have to cue him on, like, hey, this is what's going on. He's like, yep. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what you do.
But I usually ask for a profession of love at this point. Just 15 seconds. What do you love about him?
In 15 seconds, what I love about him, I love that he makes me laugh. I love that he comes home every night. I love that he keeps our Sunday traditions of going to church together as a family. I love that about him. Like, that's good. 15 seconds, right?
That was horrifying.
Oh my God.
I got 15 seconds. I love how my husband cares for me. He's always looking out for me. He worries about me. He does, you talk about he comes home. He does go.
That used to be an
he
issue.
goes to church. It's like, it's nothing about his person that you love. Like, he's very endearing or entertaining. He's got a good heart. None of that. It's just he meets some of these checklist duties that you have for him. Isn't that what you heard?
Yes.
Well,
I don't have much time. So I'm gonna do what's on my heart. If I were your mother, I would tell you to step up and stand up. I would tell you, don't worry about pleasing her. I would tell you worrying about what you do and what you think is the right thing to do. Because she is running you. And she doesn't even like the fact that she is running you. But she can't seem to stop herself, so you need to stop her. Do you know what I'm saying? Step up, man up. She's just running you and telling you what to do. I don't know how you take it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't disagree with some of the stuff that she says. It's just the consistency of it.
It's the way she says it.
Yeah.
maybe it's
Hop to.
Yeah.
If you want love, if you want romance, if you want to be treated softly and well, you got to be a little soft. You got to be a little romantic. You can't be a drill sergeant and wonder why he's not kissing you on the neck. Nobody wants to kiss a drill sergeant on the neck. That would be my recommendation to you. I think you should get married. I'll give you your marriage license. I think you should get married, but you both need to work on yourselves in the manner I so designated. This matter is adjourned.
We got some great advice from the judge, and I think that I'm going to have to slow it down some and allow him to take the lead.
And I will do my best to be a little bit more considerate to her feelings and be a better father towards my stepson and work on my finances.